Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. With your eyes still closed, please feel your own safety. Feel what it feels like to be safe. Now offer this to those in the Caribbean, to those in Florida, to those in Georgia, and so on. Sahana Bhavatu. May we all be safe. In the early 90s, there is a powerful alternative rock band called Nirvana. And one of their most popular songs was Come As You Are. And that's a lovely message, to come as you are, which we do. It's not enough to just come as you are, because there's a sense of complacency. What we do together is swadhyaya. Adhyaya, to know. Swa, oneself. When come as you are is then directed to swadhyaya, then what one lives by is climb as you are. Coming is not enough. There has to be a climbing. The more that one gets to know themselves, they also get to know their potential. When you are locked and the potential is locked, the path becomes clear. This is what we invest in Meaningful Mornings. This is how to celebrate Navaratri. To be more inward looking, to know who you are. Yet, to keep on reflecting on Vijayadashami. What does it mean to be victorious? And then to commit to that path, from laziness to aggressiveness to quietness to peace. Verse 26, chapter 9. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. The Bhagavad Gita is a map of Sanatana Dharma. The word Sanatana means much. One of the definitions of Sanatana is sustainable. That which is sustainable will last forever. And I've been sharing a lot about how if one is practicing Sanatana, which means you're practicing sustainability, that means you practice living in harmony with the environment. If the environment is not sustainable, that means we have been irresponsible. And zooming into this more broadly now, I feel The difference between my parents and myself is a sensitivity to the environment. When my parents moved to Canada, they had to work to survive, or they would have died in a very physical sense. I have never felt that. There's a good chance I'll never feel that. It is my privilege to be able to help our environment. My parents may not have had that opportunity. And knowing people like me, my wife, etc., we are first generation Canadians. If our mandirs, if our centers are not tuned into the environment, then how can we connect to those mandirs and those centers? Then even that mandir, that center, is not sustainable. See how it affects sustainability in two ways, very direct and indirect. Yo me bhaktya prayachati, the one who offers with devotion, more directly, the one who offers devotion. This second quarter solidifies high thinking. If one is engaged in high thinking, a natural behavior that will come with that, simple living. How beautifully that is shared in this whole line, the key point being high thinking. Sri Krishna shares it again in the third quarter. That devotion, bhakti upahritam, that is near one's heart. Upa means near. Hridaya comes from hrit, the sense of closeness. That which is offered from near the heart. Who lives near the heart? Shri Krishna does. Prayatatmanaha, the one who's climbing as they are, ashnami, eats. They put in the effort to eat the separation between themselves and Shri Krishna, or themselves in that potential. And what does Shri Krishna do? He eats the ego. This is what we need Shri Krishna to do for us. If you think carefully about a puja, all that is offered in a puja already belongs to him. The only part of what we offer that he never created is the ego. And he's hungry for that. We have to be strong enough to give that to him. In verse 27, there are two lovely words that I want to make sure we're clear about before we move on. I was speaking to a seeker recently. She works from home. What does she work as? She facilitates yoga in different ways, the exercise, the breathing, and so on. And so she's able to generate some resources. And she was confused about what is the guideline between dakshina and dana. Dakshina is the sense of gratitude. Dana is the expression of that as generosity. And I shared with her, in our culture, the guidance is 20% of your resources should be offered to facilitate dharma. Wherever you're learning dharma, 20%. I think she misheard what I said. Her heart started beating faster. So then I shared, fine, if you reference other religions, it typically is 10%. I think many of your friends, it would go from chat to church, correct? 10%. For those who read the article on effective altruism, The average American gives 2%. 1/10 of what our map guides us to. So here, I'm zooming into the word tapasyasi. Tapa means to burn. To burn in the sense of offering, to keep on offering more while working hard to not feel less. That's the logic of tapa, is to feel just as much with less. In a business, we would call that efficiency, correct? Less input, more output. That's what tapa is. That you have less and less and less materials, but you don't feel any lesser. Tapa. Have that purpose, this offering attitude to climb as you are is called arpana. Arpana, to dedicate. And if there's arpana buddhi, the vision that I'm offering my verbs and I'm going to keep intensifying that. What comes with arpana? Our favorite. Tell me, what comes with arpana buddhi? Prasada, correct? Yes, see, everybody knows about that. Prasada buddhi, that if I have a vision that this is being offered, then what comes from that? Even if that's nothing, I accept that. With choiceless cheer, one is less cranky. One smiles more. Pujaswami Chinmayananda emphasizes this, and then we'll start the next verse. It is a law in life that as you give unto life, so shall life give unto you. Smile at life, and life smiles. Frown at life, and life frowns at you. Approach life with due reverence and respect, born out of the understanding of the divine essence in it, and life shall respect and revere you. I always remember Pujaswami Tejomayananda sharing that if everyone around you is miserable, you're probably the cause. But if everyone around you is cheerful, you're probably the cause for that. We continue. We are now on verse 28. Shubha Shubha Phale Revam Moksha Se Karma Bandhanaihi Sanyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mam Upaishyasi. Shubha, that which is egoless. Ashubha, that which is ego-filled. And there's many other ways to describe that. Auspicious, inauspicious. Palaihi, results that are like this. Evam, what do they cause indeed? Karma bandhanaihi, they cause us to feel bound. Even when all is smooth, we feel rough. Even when all are happy, we feel incomplete. But if someone is living by verse 22, verse 26, verse 27, mokshase, they're freed from any sense of negativity because they're freed from the ego, which is separating us from Sri Krishna. The implication of this more, Sri Krishna is encouraging us not to depend on results, not to depend externally. If we live in such a way where we have nothing to gain and we have nothing to lose, one doesn't get lost then. If you felt lost yesterday, if you felt lost this month, it's probably because you're vulnerable to losing, because your vision is to gain. But if you shut that down, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, I'm not lost. And zooming into that more, when results come in to our lives, and they will, to have less likes and dislikes towards them. Label likes and dislikes, label results less. Like the weather. We don't have to go on talking about it's fall now. It's much colder than it was last month. Obviously, just accept. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma. All of this is possible when one is engaged in yoga, this vision of betterment. And so yukta, one is united to the Atma, united to being who they are, then naturally that involves sannyasa. It means giving up who you're not. Who are you not? The ego. People can tell you you're egotistical. You can feel you're egotistical. That's the not you. That is what is to be renounced. When I was growing up, working with my parents, we often had to fill out these deposit books. Do you remember with the carbon sheet? That blue sheet, it would go on to the next piece of paper. And if you didn't put that carbon sheet there, then what would happen to the next sheet of paper? Nothing. Do you all know what I'm talking about? Or Vivekji, this is millennia ago. What are you talking about? That essentially is the ego. Let me wrap up that thought. If the ego is there, lots of asanas. But if the ego is not there, there are no impressions then. The point being is, vimukto, one is light, mam upaishyasi, they're light and light and light, and they come to me. I am the original light. We shall reflect on this more. Another awesome verse is coming. It's like an awesome season of movies. Every Friday, if you show up at the theater, there'll be a good movie. That's what chapter 9 is, the portion we're in. Inspiration to application. Your recent application was about following Chinmay Mission Niagara's YouTube channel, because there's many awesome workshops. What happens in these workshops? It is a shop where you learn how to work with silence, with people, with the environment. Your application for this morning, I want you to research Orange Shirt Day. Orange Shirt Day. And tomorrow, everyone should be wearing an orange top. Shirt, t-shirt, jacket, kurti. Wear an orange top tomorrow. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.